They'll jump on you right away. Tiare Jennings had the 2-run home run in Game 1. Jocelyn Allo, the monster solo slam in Game 1. Nicole Mendez hit a grand slam. She doesn't even crack the lineup here in the second game of the doubleheader. That's how deep the Sooners are. Mackenzie Donahue will get the start out in left field and bat in the 8th spot in the lineup as they move some pieces around. Lindsay Elam moves up into the 4th spot in the order, and here is Jennings, the California Player of the Year coming out of high school. As this Oklahoma recruiting class, they secured the top 2 players in the nation in Jennings and Jada Coleman. Wind was a factor early in Game 1. The Sooners were hitless and runless through the first 3 innings earlier tonight, and then they started bashing even into the wind. Were able to hit 3 balls out. That, of course, is the challenge and the priority when you're facing Oklahoma. You got to keep the ball in the yard, give your defense a chance to make some plays. They had some pretty good ones, did the Bears in the field, particularly at second and out in left. '65 consecutive Big 12 wins in a row for the Sooners. Baylor, the last team to beat them, and that was 4 years ago. That's how dominant they have been over that period of time. They have also won 2 national championships. 3-1 from Mansell. And Tiare Jennings, just like she did in Game 1, draws the walk to lead things off.
Now batting the left fielder, number 78, Jocelyn Allo.
Front runner for National Player of the Year honors, Jocelyn Allo will step in with a runner on. One for 4 with that home run earlier.
Got these 2 bats at the beginning of the lineup and both over 500, so just the law of averages and numbers. One of the 2 is going to get on base, and when you lead off innings like that, you lead off games like that, that's part of the reason this Oklahoma team outscores their opponent so readily early in the game.
Here's the on-base percentage that you referenced, Michelle. Most of their lineup it has an OB of 500 or better.
It's just
every other time they come up.
Your picture's a little depressing. I know. Coleman's over 600.
Yeah. 2-0 to Allo. 2-1. Fouls it off. From the island of Oahu, Hauula, Hawaii. Long journey to make her way to Norman and suit up for the Sooners. 36.60 the mileage. There's Dad Levi and Gramita. We've had a handful of the Sooners games this year. They have been at all of them. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hard hit through the left side and a base knock for Allo. 2 on with nobody out.
So not only does Allo go yard, she's got a great eye, ability to sit on pitches that change up off speed just a little bit. And look at the way she just hesitates enough. Gets the front foot down and just punches that ball through the 5-6 hole. Ramita and Dad Levi approve of the base hit knock through the 5-6 hole.
Grace Lyons 0 for 3 in game one, also hit by a pitch. They are a week removed now from their only loss of the season at Georgia last Tuesday. And since then, 5-0, outscoring foes 59-4. And a rarity in game one, they actually had to play the full 7 innings. So many of their games run rules this year. That's how dominant they have been.
It's one of the first things Coach Gasso told us. She's like, I want to play more. I want to play a 7-inning game. Well, then I was like, well, maybe you have to give your kids the bunt sign then instead of the home run sign. But seriously, yeah, she really recognizes that it is important for their pitchers and for their team to be able to play deep in the games and get that experience.
Their next home run, by the way, will tie the school record of 115 for a single season. Two to Grace. Holman Mansell keeping it low in the zone.
Lyons so far off the dish, way back in the box.
Trying to buy a little time against Sydney, who can top out around 70 miles an hour. So the reaction time for a batter comparable to a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Shohei Ohtani.
It's that open stance.
Slow roller to short, a look to third, in time to get Lyons at first. Wow.
Wow, really slow developing play. Binford looks like she wants to go over to Ellis at third, but recognizes there's just not enough time. Jennings running very well. Speed of this ground ball very slow, and then fires back across. Ooh, it looked like I thought Lyons was safe. Looked like Jennings may have sidestepped or a little bit and didn't really run through the bag.
Yeah, I think she thought the play. Play I think she thought was going to be to third, so it looked like she slowed down. There's a hot shot off the glove of Binford, and a run will score. RBI for Lindsay Elam. We'll bring up Kenzie Hansen. The only Sooner not to reach base in the opening game tonight. Everybody else was aboard. Kenzie, a terrific young talent, the sophomore from North. High school All-American, really worked on her defense, has become the everyday starting catcher. Lindsay Elam playing the DP. Led the team in RBI last year during the shortened season. Takes a look at strike one.
Yeah, just so strong behind the dish. Really good arm. Works with all the pitchers really well, and then the power and the average to boot this year just through the roof.
High fly ball back towards the track and center. The catch is made by Hannah Smith, but plenty deep enough for a sac fly to drive in Allo to make it 2-0.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 20, Jenna John.
Well, Gia Rodoni did a good job in the opening game for Baylor, keeping Oklahoma quiet early. Did not allow a hit or a run in the first 3 innings, but Oklahoma striking quickly here in the nightcap. Couple of hits, a walk, a sac fly, a 2-0 lead with 2 outs. Janet Johns, a laser to short, and Binford able to get to it.
And Gilbert, a really good game against G. Juarez. Just on the inside corner, the outside corner.
Drops down the bunt, and Hanson wisely lets that trickle foul. And a strikeout for Sale, 1 away.
Shannon Sell with that rise ball toward the top half of the zone, so she works you low and then elevates you high. Really nice pitch on the corner, good up.
This is Emily Hotz, 1 for 3 in game 1. Freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma. Has been a tough out this year. Bears love her versatility. And her streak of reaching base safely now at 25 games. Fouls one off. Last 3 outings for Sale, 11 innings, 17 strikeouts, has not given up a run. Only allowed 5 hits. After she struggled with her control a little bit. Back to form, gets the ground out to short. 2 out.
She came in relief for G. Juarez in that UGA game and struggled with that control, as you mentioned, Beth. And that really is Shannon Sale. When she is on and she is pounding the strike zone, she is tough. She's upper 60s. She's got the good rise movement. She can throw at your knees. She'll give you a little mix. And when she just lives in that zone, she's a great different look than G. Juarez.
Juarez, the complete game earlier today. 5-hitter, 1 earned run, struck out 6. And for G, she is now 15-0 on the season. Sale, the starter here in the second game, 11-0. The freshman Nicole May, 11-1. They have 4 other pitchers that they can turn to, but those are their primary 3. So they should be plenty experienced going into the NCAA tournament. If they needed to use 3 different pitchers on 3 different days. 1-2 to Goose. Lights off the rise.
And I think the other thing, too, Beth, that really helps this pitching staff is knowing that they have an offense that can help bail them out. If they give up a big run, if they give up a big hit, knowing that they don't have to pitch that shutout.
I mean, like Jocelyn Allo with 25 home runs, Tiare Jennings with 22, Kinsey Hansen, Grace Lyons, Jana Johns, all with double-digit pops.
That's
that kind of
what I'm
lineup.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. Well, and interesting.
Pitching back in your day when a team might hit 20 home runs in a season, you know, you didn't have that kind of
no. When you when you gave up a big hit, it usually hurt and it usually lost you a game. So you pitched nervously, knowing that you could not make a mistake. But it also tested you.
High fly ball out to center. Jada Coleman's back over there in center to start game 2. Well said by Patty Gasso after the loss a week ago, and they certainly have not shown any panic. Have gotten right back on the bicycle and been riding it as well as they were prior to the defeat, if not better. They wiped out the Dogs and ripped through Texas Tech, and now a 7-1 win over Baylor in the opener tonight. 57-4, they've outscored the opponents in the 5 games. 3 of those shutouts, 3 of those run rules. And in Sunday's game against Texas Tech, 18 runs scored in the 4th inning. They had 23 batters come to the plate. They had 14 hits, 2 home runs. Jocelyn Allo herself had 3 hits and drove in 4 runs in a single inning.
Yeah, that series just amazing. Outscored Texas Tech 40-0. Did not give up a run in the entire series. And now this is an offense that 20 times has hit 3+ home runs with game 1 of this series against Baylor. 20 times have hit 3+ home runs in a game.
I mean, the numbers.
Staggering.
You can't spell numbers without numb. Just realized that. The numbers are numbing. I mean, 5 times this year they've scored 20 runs. I don't often surprise myself, Smitty, but I did right there.
Yeah, it's crazy when you start really diving into everything that the Sooners can do. I think the thing that I'm so impressed with is not just the home run power, but the average that they are hitting with the home run power.
What's going to be really interesting is you see Jada Coleman here, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. We just saw UCLA over the weekend playing Washington. The Bruins still the defending national champs from their 2019 title. As Coleman draws the walk, the Bruins look pretty good. Washington, when Gabby Plain is in the circle, tough to beat. The 2 top dogs out west. If you've got to go out to play Arizona in a super or a regional, oof, they can knock the ball out of the park there in Tucson. Arizona State got some good swingers.
Yep.
When you look at Pac-12 opposition potentially down the line for the Sooners. Runner goes.
Looks like she left early.
She left early.
Yeah.
One down. Can't leave the base until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand.
Immediately, the umpire puts his arm out for a dead ball.
Mackenzie Donahue, the 1-0 pitch, 2-0. Ryan Crochet behind the plate. Steve McCown at first. Bubba Ewald at third tonight.
But back to
go ahead.
To your point about, Coach Gasso, and I think every coach that you talk to that, you know, has those ambitions of winning national championships, they want to see how their team responds after losses, after adversity. And that was a big part of chatting with Coach Gasso about just really seeing this team and seeing what are they going to do, because when you do look at their stat sheets this year, their season looks like it's actually been pretty easy. So after the loss, how do they react? Well, they come back with that really big series against Texas Tech. Come back and win game 2 against Georgia. Tough road trip to Athens on the Tuesday last week. Here we are Tuesday this week. Got on the bus yesterday, came down, had a practice this morning, double dip here this evening. We'll be busing back to Norman.
Back-to-back walks here in the top of the second, bottom of the order. Their big tests this year, their 2 wins over Missouri in early March are looking better and better.
Yeah.
Missouri is top 4 in the SEC right now. And they put a hurting on the Longhorns in a top 10 showdown. 3 straight run rule wins. So the resume has been bolstered. The RPI, they've moved up now into 7 in the NCAA RPI list. And of course, still looming Bedlam on the road in Stillwater to end the regular season. Two runs in the first for the Sooners. Base runner here with 1 out. Alan Snow hitting out of the 9 spot in the lineup. Added 6th earlier tonight. Went 0 for 3, reached on an error and scored a run. Snow is the SEC transfer from Auburn. And we already mentioned Missouri. Other folks that look like national championship contenders, Arkansas and Florida and Alabama. Tight race for the top spot in the SEC.
And even Pac-12, you look at Arizona State, took the series from Arizona. So, you know, 4 super strong teams that I wouldn't be surprised to see run deep into the postseason with Arizona, Arizona State. Obviously, Washington, UCLA, Oregon, so 5 teams. It's just, it's going to be a battle. It will be interesting when the NCAA announces those sites coming up next week.
Knocked down by Mansell and nowhere to go with it. And a couple of base runners here with 1 out now for Oklahoma, with the top of the lineup coming around.
Down by the second baseman, number 23, Jari Jennings.
Jari Jennings, a walk in the first, came in to score on Lindsey Elam's RBI single. Went yard in game 1 earlier tonight. If you like Smitty and you believe good pitching beats good hitting, you also have to keep an eye on Minnesota and Michigan out of the Big Ten. Good arms up there. And it's a much deeper ACC this year. Clemson has just taken over the top spot from Florida State. Good depth with the likes of Duke and Notre Dame and Virginia Tech.
Notre Dame has been coming on strong as of late.
Swept 4 in Blacksburg this weekend.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-0 to Jennings, fouls it off. How about the home run swing from earlier tonight?
The freshman just can get the ball out of the park. This one elevated right on out. 22nd home run of the year, 2-run shot for Jari Jennings.
One of 5 Sooners with double-digit home runs this year. Gianallo over 20, and she drills that right back up the middle. And the Sooners will tack on another.
Just another one of those Sooners that hits for power and average. She gets a single pitch, so she drives it right back up the middle. And Oklahoma just continuing to keep their foot on the pedal, easily going to score more opportunities. Snow and Tiare Jennings advancing. Donahue comes across to score.
And a discussion going on right now. Is there going to be a change in the circle here? And there does appear to be, as Holman Mansell is in the dugout. Pitching change here in the top of the second. Aaliyah Binford on in relief of Mansell, who went 1 1/3, 3 runs, 4 hits. So the freshman comes on her second relief appearance of the night. And welcome into the circle. Here's Jocelyn Allo. Singled and then scored in the first. Homered in game 1. Her 25th of the season. 1 run across already here in the inning. 2 on board for Jocelyn.
Well, this is where Oklahoma's so strong, is that you've got runners at first and second, so you think, oh, first base is open. Do I put her on? Well, then you have Grace Lyons coming up, who has 12 home runs. She hits .450, so.
And a rocket through the left side will score another. RBI single for Allo.
And the thing I respect about these Sooners is they're not just swinging for the fence every time they get up there. This is an elevated pitch, and Jocelyn Allo just gets all over top of it and hits it through the 5-6 hole. She doesn't go up there trying to hit every ball out of the yard, and that's the reason she's a .500 hitter this year. Another big RBI.
Now it's Grace Lyons' turn, grounded to short in the first. Putting down the bunt. They're going to test Binford's defense. She makes the play to first, but another run will come in as Jennings scores. Little squeeze action so they can play the short game too.
Now batting the designated player number 22, Lindsay Elam.
2 down for Lindsay Elam.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, all right, you're winning 4-0. Why are you squeezing home a run with your number 3 hitter who's got 12 home runs on the year? I think at times Patty Gasso just needs to have some situational plays, some situational offense for her team. Ability to be like, all right, pressure situation. Can you do this? This is the Women's College World Series, and you're going up against a team, and we need to push a run across. Can you get the bunt down when I ask for it?
Yeah, taking care of their own business first and foremost. Let's worry about or focus on what we need to keep working on. Already, through the first 2 innings, the top 5 in their batting order have driven in a run.
So much depth.
Lindsay Elam fouls one off. The other thing, too, of note, Smitty, is, you know, they were hitting a lot of fly balls in game 1, getting caught up in the wind for long flyouts. Well, here in game 2, 3 of their 5 hits have all been liners or on the ground. They're keeping it out of that breeze and driving it through, driving it down and through. You talked about the adjustments and dealing with not only pitchers, but also the elements, which can be a big part of things.
Absolutely. And the experience, knowing that you may not always be able to lift a ball out of the park. So can you score runs station to station? Can you have productive outs? Can you sacrifice when you're called upon?
Gets that one off away. And checks the wrist for the sign. Full count. Two runs in the first, and now three more across here in the second. RBIs for Jennings, Allo, and Lyons. Jocelyn still on the base paths. Right at McGlon, and Goose makes the play. Side retired, but a 5-0 Sooner lead. All of those winners of national championships in that group, the fewest losses over the course of the season, getting to the championship. That UCLA team, just 2 losses in 1992. You know, you don't come to Oklahoma to be mediocre, right, Smitty? You come to Oklahoma to chase championships. You come to Oklahoma to try and make some history and play with the best. And so after they started out 33-0 on a 40-game winning streak, as that drops foul, and they lost to Georgia a week ago, that has just reinvigorated them and turned them back on to the possibility of doing something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah, absolutely. It is all that championship culture that we talk about, that Patty Gasso talks about. Excellence in everything.
NCAA record was 47. Well, they got close. Taylor Ellis flies out to center, one down. It's 4, 5, and 6 here for Baylor.
Now batting, the pitcher number 41,
Aaliyah Binford, who started out at short and now pitching for Baylor, will step in. Aaliyah 0 for 3 in game 1 earlier. Also came on in relief. It's a pretty good combo, short and pitch, Michelle. Often for pitchers who rake, you like to hang out over there at first base and not have to do too much running.
Exactly.
Not Binford.
Do a little bit of everything.
In fact, I'm trying to think. Now, you were, of course, a pitcher who played first.
Yep, being a lefty.
Yeah,
relegated
being a
to the
lefty.
outfielder first. Yeah.
2 pitch. Statistician extraordinaire Karen Johns is throwing up a little Nancy Evans at us, the All-American
Exactly.
pitcher slash shortstop at Arizona back in the late 90s.
Well, you normally don't see the pitcher slash shortstop, because shortstop is such an important position that you want that consistency there.
Yeah, going over there every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Foul territory. Catches made 2 down. I think in recent years, like a Megan Langenfeld, that was first base. Finch, of course, first base.
Hernandez was over at third.
That's right. Fernandez, the left-sider. Ricketts. First. Danielle Laurie.
Yep.
First.
Another one. And when it used to be a DP, then you would typically find more pitchers playing defensive. And once it became a DH, and once it became the DP, then saw a lot more pitchers being able to hit and then pitch. And obviously the biggest advantage of the DP is that you can get warm. You can be in the bullpen and come right in to pitch. And once you're out there defensively, at times it's a little bit tougher to stay warm when you are called into relief.
Yeah, the substitution rules in softball a lot looser with the re-entry. Hannah Smith with 2 down. 0-2. And Sale with a couple of flyers here in the inning. Of course, one of the all-time great pitching first basemen is our very own Amanda Scarborough.
That's right. The unicorn, as she would like
The
to
unicorn.
label. I think that was
Texas
her.
A&M.
Yeah. I think that was her doing. She labeled the hitting pitcher, the raking pitchers.
Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Shannon Sale. Doing the books, 5-zip Sooners.
Shannon Sale using that rise ball in the inside corner. Second strikeout of the game for Sale. She's humming.
En route to deep runs to the Women's College World Series. 3 titles in the last decade. 5 trips to the championship series in the last 8 years for the Sooners, including 2019. Got destroyed in the opener of the Champ Series by UCLA. Bounced back, and what a thriller Game 2 was. The Shea Knighton late home run, topped only by Kinsley Washington's walk-off. But Shea definitely cemented her legacy as one of the greatest ever to put the cleats on in Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series. The 17-inning home run certainly comes to mind. That's laced out to left. Lead off for Kinsey Hansen.
Kinsey Hansen off the dish, seeing the adjustment she's making, that pitch off speed. So this is what makes Oklahoma so strong, is that they can sit on velocity, they can sit on off speed. They hit corners, they go oppo, they pull. There's not a lot of holes in their swing.
You watched a lot of tape on them, Michelle, and I guess Alo in particular, that the ability not only to hit the good ones that you're supposed to, but to hit the ones that the pitcher actually thinks she wins and beats you on, to get you to chase.
Absolutely. So there's obviously the misses that are over the white part of the plate that are just, you know, piped, the big pitcher's mistake. But then there's also the pitcher's pitches that are a really good pitch. In other words, a ball or a pitch that's in and out of the strike zone really, really quick. And this is a team that still can hit bad pitches, bad balls. And when I say hit, I mean hit them out of the yard still, not just like, you know, base hits. And that's really what we saw from Lauren Chamberlain. That was one of the reasons why she was able to be such a prolific home run hitter, is that obviously she wasn't going to get a lot of good pitches through the zone. So she had to learn to hit pitches off the plate, a ball off the plate, a ball inside at her knees. And that's where I think Jocelyn Alo is this year. Kind of recommitted herself to really being excellent this year.
3-1 pitch to Johns. She draws the walk, so 2 on here with nobody out. Hey, we got some Sunday Night Baseball coming your way. Let's go NL East here with the Mets and the Phillies on ESPN and your ESPN app. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown starts at 6, and then it's game on at 7 Eastern. Mets and Phillies. I know Sooner fans are keeping an eye on the career home run chase. Of course, Lauren Chamberlain with 95 is the NCAA home run queen. Jessie Harper, the update here, 87 career home runs now for Arizona's Jessie Harper. And it looks like the Sooners will bring on a pinch runner out at second base. Hansen can re-enter. And this is Riley Boone. One of the big challenges for Patty this year is, you know, roster management. And for most coaches around the country, trying to keep everybody happy with these huge rosters, because you got super seniors and redshirt freshmen, regular freshmen, and even some freshmen that left high school early to join the squad.
Yeah, you have a lot of talented freshmen coming in thinking that, all right, let's just say the shortstop position has been vacated because they're graduated out, and then all of a sudden they're back. So it's been tough on many programs.
And the chemistry is crucial because, you know, with the pandemic, you haven't had a lot of together time, a lot of face time. And, you know, you're talking about 18-year-olds with 24-year-olds in some cases where you've got a player that's been there for 6 years.
Absolutely.
And trying to build that chemistry that is crucial. Good off speed there from Binford. 1 and 2. Ooh. Inside to Coleman. Did she get out of the way? Nope. Looks like it hit her. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
This pitch coming inside to Coleman. See, she gets that foot down, and it's like it's a curveball that just continues to travel in.
Did that
Maybe
hit a
off
piece of her?
I don't know. I couldn't tell if it hit the back leg or not. I didn't see the umpire say anything, so no, I think we're going to bring her back. Looked like it went off the catcher's glove.
Yeah, I think that went by her. Patty Gasso's going to make a case.
Yeah, or it was hard to also tell if maybe it ticked off of her elbow guard. It was trying to look to see if there was any change or any movement. But I think what also is interesting, though, because of this call, the runners don't advance. Where typically, if that's just a wild pitch, they would be able to advance 60 feet.
If you're Baylor, do you want her on base anyway? She's only hitting .500 on the season, for crying out loud.
Pick your poison.
And they might get a double play out of it. Nope, they'll get one as Boone slides by to score. And they record the out at first base.
Yeah, okay, so our bug was wrong. The runners did advance. So obviously it was a pass ball. So Coleman picks up another RBI.
So now the lone base runner is Janet Johns at third base. And for Coleman now 12 runs batted in her last 10 games. 6 different Sooners have driven in the 6 runs tonight. Mackenzie Donahue getting the start. Out in left, walked and scored in the third. So at least 1 run up all 3 innings thus far for the Boomers. Of course, the big story this week around Baylor, the departure of women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey. Headed back home to Louisiana to take the job at LSU. Grounded to second, and the only play will be to first. Another run scores. Stick around, Baylor fans. We're going to hear from our basketball analyst extraordinaire, Debbie Antonelli, with her thoughts on who might take the job coming up in the bottom of the third. She's only been bugging us for the last 10 years to get on a softball game, so we finally relented. Yep. She's got some good insight. It'll be tough to replace Mulkey in those 3 national championships for Baylor. Of course, the coaching staff for the softball team, you know, Loved her fiery personality, loved her passion for the game. He made a phone call to Brittany Sneed-Newman after Mark Lumley's death, the former assistant coach here at Baylor. Coach Lum, they still feel his presence every day. They've been through a lot this year, has Baylor. 20 years, Lum, every step of the way alongside Glenn Moore.
Coach Moore said he's Coach Lum was as close to him as I was my brothers, if not closer. Just
1-2 to Donna. Who got her? Done a remarkable job building this program into a national power. Of course, everybody's struggling right now, though, in Big 12 country with the way the Sooners have been playing of late. They've been the dominant force. Of course, they're making moves. Kenny Gajewski at Oklahoma State, terrific hire. Mike White, major move at Texas 3 years ago.
Big 12, the last couple years, definitely getting stronger. And, you know, if you think about it, Beth, every conference is stepping up their game. ACC, SEC, obviously, Pac-12.
More money in the game, better television ratings, more revenue, support from athletic directors. I mean, that was the big difference in the birth and growth of the SEC, and now we're seeing that in the Atlantic Coast Conference as well. Shannon Sale. Of course, when it comes to ADs, they don't get any better than Joe Castiglione at Oklahoma. They just hired a couple of new basketball coaches as well. As Josie Bauer is retired, one down. It's the bottom of the order here for Baylor. They're down 7-zip and have yet to get a hit off of Shannon Sale.
Well, I think the other aspect of all these stories, whether or not it's basketball or softball, is support from administration. You know, are you getting the facilities you need? If the men are winning and then the women are winning, you know, I mean, we've seen it this year more than ever. You know, the gender, you know, the equity of supporting your women's sports as much as your men's sports.
Big story. We're excited. Of course, we'll have every pitch on the road to the Women's College World Series, and for the first time, some of the postseason games will be on ABC. Artificial let the cat out of the bag on that one. But, you know, we're going to find out the potential host sites for the NCAA tournament tomorrow, or later this week, I should say. Popped up in the infield, 2 down. NFL Draft starts on Thursday night on ESPN. Every pick live on ESPN and also coverage on ABC from the college perspective. Thursday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Also on the app and the Cortez from Cleveland. I believe they're setting up shop right next to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and to a stadium right down on the lovely Lake Erie for the draft. With 2 outs, Alyssa Avalos.
How about Shannon Sale? Number 9 hitter up here in the bottom of the third. She's been perfect. First time through the order.
And another strikeout. Second of the inning. 3 of the last 4 she has faced.
Shannon Sale using the rise ball for the setup and then coming down to the off speed. 4th strikeout of the game for Shannon Sale.
Well, already a good outing from G. Juarez in the circle. Shannon Sale now showing her stuff. And here's Jennings. Has reached twice and scored twice.
Well, Beth, in game 1, every run that the Sooners put up on the board was via the home run ball. And here we are in game 2. The the doubleheader. Every hit has been a single, so station to station is showing how they can vary their offensive attack. Or 3 passes so far by Baylor's pitching that they have capitalized on. 3 of those 4 coming in to score.
And I sold him short in RBI. It's 7 different run producers up and down the lineup. Everybody involved. And after a lot of fly balls and home run balls in the first game, most of it's on the ground and liners. And Smitty's station-to-station attack here in game 2. Of course, they are also approaching run rule territory. Baylor would have at least a couple more at-bats if Oklahoma were to score another run. 8 runs through 5 at-bats for the home team is the rule. Oh, nice with the off-speed from Binford and the punch-out.
How about Binford? Starts out 3-ball count and then fights her way back for the strikeout. Off-speed pitch is going to tumble over top and just dump down to the back of the zone. Really nice pitch by Binford.
He has struck out a couple in a row, and now facing Alo. Singled and scored in the first, singled and drove in a run in the second. So for Jocelyn, a shade under 500 her batting average, 25 home runs, and now 68 runs batted in. Those last 2 figures, best in the country. The batting average, number 2 in the country, to Kayla Kowalik of Kentucky in her quest to win the first ever college softball Triple Crown. And cement her legacy. She's already, she'll be back next year again. She will, in all likelihood, set a new career home run record. If she gets hot late this season, she could set a new single-season NCAA home run record. That's 37.
And 30 home runs
with change.
There's 30 home runs as a freshman, and I love the fact that she's just so recommitted this year. And I think that pours over to the rest of the team. They see her work ethic, they see what she's doing. It's contagious.
She lost it for a little while a couple years ago, but she has definitely rediscovered the want to. I want to play, I want to win, I want to set records and help our team get a championship. And grounds out there, 2 down.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3.
Shortstop Grace Lyons. Ground out to short, and then grounded out to drive in a run in the second. Grace looking for her first hit of the night. Going 0 for 3 in the opener.
Lions really having a good year. Patty Gasso, I think she's one of the most underrated shortstops in the country. And hitting in that 3 or 4 spot all year long. Solid glove at shortstop. That's going to be a good discussion for the podcast, Beth.
Oh,
The shortstops this year. So many talented.
I think we might break into that this week on the podcast. We tape tomorrow. If you've got questions, send them in to us at 7 Innings Podcast. 2-out walk to Grace Lyons. Don't forget, Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Some of the featured games, got Bedlam baseball Friday night, and then all weekend long softball with Baylor and Kansas. Early rounds of the Big 12 tournament coming up May 14th to the 15th. We're inching closer to the conference championships. May 11th to the 15th. Finals for you from the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12. All leading towards selection. Sunday night, May 16th is when we will unveil the bracket, and we will all find out what 16 schools will be hosting.
It'll be interesting.
Schools have put in bids this year. Not automatic that it goes to the top 16 seeds. Although that would be the ideal. Here you see the big dates coming up. May 16th, the selection show. Regionals, the weekend of May 21st. Supers, May 27th. And then 8 teams off to Oklahoma City, June 3rd through the 9th.
NCAA announcing, last week, 50% fan capacity, hoping maybe over the next month things trend in the right direction. Maybe, maybe more. Be exciting.
It could be coming. I think it could be coming. New CDC guidelines released today. That should open things up for folks who get vaccinated.
Oh, and how about opportunity? It'll be the first time we'll have the new upper deck in force at Oklahoma City at Hall of Fame Stadium. Holly Rose going to have to do a report up there.
Got to wear a good pair of sneakers to get around the stadium now. It's bigger and better than ever. Of course, we'll have all the games for you. And the Bruins go back-to-back, like Oklahoma did in 16 and 17, and Florida did prior to that in 2014 and 15. Wrapped it up. One left on, side retired to the bottom of the 4th, and a 7-run OU lead. In particular this year, but not as easy as it looks for Blue back there.
Absolutely not. Movement, 3-dimensional zone, and most hitters are out of the back of the box. Players are caught the ball where the ball passes over the plate.
Yeah, it can be quite different where that ball goes through the strike zone and where it ends up in the catcher's glove, which obviously if you've got really good movement on the ball, you don't want the glove to be in the strike zone. Prefer the ball to pass through a corner of it.
Right, in and out as quick as possible is what the best pitchers in the game do. Or they throw a pitch that's outside of it and hitters give up on it and it, boom, moves back through it.
One to Gilbert, and the top of the lineup here for Baylor. Shannon Sale has retired the first 9 she has faced. 4 strikeouts for Shannon.
Part of the conversation earlier this year, too, Beth, was the umpires trying to focus a little bit more on the low pitch. It's going to be the emphasis of trying to make sure that the strike zone's not too small, give pitchers opportunity to be able to survive.
Let's take a little deeper dive.
So the knee level, so at the bottom of the strike zone, it's the top of the ball at the top of the knee, and then it's the top of the zone, it's the top of the ball below the sternum. And so that's a good look at what the strike zone would be. Remember, it's three-dimensional. It's front of the plate to the back of the plate, where it would pass through.
And that'll drop in. First hit of the night. And a couple of base runners here for Baylor. Off the bat of Emily Hott.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34,
And up steps Goose McGlawn. Goose flew out to center back in the first inning.
Shannon sailed perfect first time to the lineup, second time through here. Baylor starting to make some adjustments. Get her idea of what Shannon will be throwing at him.
Into foul territory and unreachable for Allo. Nope, that is not Allo anymore. Substitution is Riley Boone out there in right field. Nicole Mendez has moved over to center. One-two pitch to McGlawn. Got her. One down.
Shannon Sale has been working that rise ball. She's been working lower half of the zone, but also using this pitch, the off speed. Look at the way this is just going to dump down. The great over-the-top rotation, throws that off of her drop. Love the movement from the knee down to the dirt.
Taylor Ellis, fly out to center in the second inning. Two to Ellis. Grounds it and it sneaks through the left side and the bases are loaded with one out. Second hit of the inning for Baylor. And their first serious threat. And Patty Gasso will head out to the circle. Make sure the defense is in order. They also made a substitution at first base. That's Grace Green now playing first. So it is Aaliyah Binford. Second relief appearance of the doubleheader. Stayed in the lineup as a batter, popped up in the second inning, and a big moment here with the bases loaded on what has already been a memorable day for Aaliyah. And she made it official and was adopted by her stepdad today. Mom Betty and Dad Greg on hand tonight. Raised by Greg, decided to take on his last name, and the adoption just this afternoon became official. They're here cheering her on.
Great picture. Coaching staff had said they had the uniform ready, name change and everything.
And here she is stepping up with the bases loaded against #1 Oklahoma. Batting .500 this year with the bases loaded is Aaliyah. Down in the count, 0-2. Doesn't go for that off-speed pitch. They do not have a grand slam yet this year. Two and two. Called strike three, got the outside corner. 2 down.
Shannon Sale, bases loaded, still continuing to work this off-speed pitch. Look at the way she's going to throw that to the outside corner. Lindsay Elam behind the dish. Really good job of making sure that pitch is called a strike. Went out, talking things over. Pitcher. 6th strikeout of the night for Shannon Sale.
Another good outing for Shannon. And trying to work out of the bases loaded jam. A walk and a couple of hits, and now with 2 outs, it's Hannah Smith. Pops her up, and Sale is right there. Threat ended. Shutout saved. Top of the 5th. Sooners need a run to invoke the run rule here and put Baylor up against it in the bottom half of the inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up. This is Riley Boone. Came on as a pinch runner in the 3rd, so this is her first AB. .395 hitter this year.
This is where these subs for Oklahoma have to really be resilient. Opportunities to get some ABs, take advantage of it, that playing time.
Binford wanted that one. Don't forget, we've got the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs coming up Saturday afternoon for you, 1 Eastern on ESPN2. And then on the ESPN networks throughout the weekend, Arkansas, LSU. Can the Razorbacks win an SEC championship for the first time? And gets the strikeout of Boone, 1 down.
Yeah, I think that SEC regular season championship, the race to that, to the final weekend, is going to be interesting. But Arkansas didn't do themselves any favors against Missouri last weekend, but you know, Missouri is right in it too. You start looking at the four top teams that get the bye going into the SEC tournament.
Right now, that top 4, Arkansas, Florida, Alabama, and Missouri. Arkansas, though, only has 3 games left. If they win all 3 and Florida wins their final 6, they would be tied at the top of the standings. But the Gators are at Missouri this weekend.
Yep.
So that could be difficult. Alabama has Georgia and Ole Miss remaining. They are 2 games back in the loss column. We'll have the SEC tournament for you from start to finish. As dominant as Alabama and Florida have been in recent regular seasons, that tournament is an absolute free-for-all.
Yes, it is.
We'll be in Tuscaloosa this year.
I love tournaments.
We'll be in Oklahoma City, yeah.
One and done tournaments, it's like you got to show up every day or you're going home. Always that debate on whether or not there should be conference tournaments.
Walk to Jana Johns. So this is what's coming up on May 15th. ACC final at noon. American Championship, that should be a really good one at 2 Eastern. Then the Big 12 at 4 and the SEC at 6. ACC this year, I believe, at Louisville?
Correct.
Could you hear the question mark in my voice? I thought I had seen that on the schedule at Louisville. So Nicole Mendez is the batter here with 1 on and 1 out. She of the Grand Slam swing in the game earlier tonight.
When you look at the depth of Oklahoma, she hits the Grand Slam in game 1 and then isn't starting in game 2. There's so much talent. Johnny.
Jumps it foul. Didn't take her long. Here's the at-bat, the first pitch, and she rocked it.
She sure did. Bases loaded, just drives that ball out of the park. And at the time, Oklahoma was down by a run, so that big 4-run shot put them in control of the game.
They would go on to win it 7-1 as Mendez, Alo, and Jennings all homered for the Sooners. There's a base knock. And a couple on board with 1 out.
So Mendez shows she can hit the ball out of the park, driving it over the right field fence. And then how about an outside pitch? Yep, I can do that too. I'm going to just knock it through the 5-6 hole. I'm going to go with the pitch. Sharp shot.
Runner in scoring position here for Mackenzie Donahue. Walked in the 3rd, drove in a run, or in the 2nd, excuse me, and scored, drove in a run in the 3rd.
Well, part of the reason that Mendez doesn't always start in the outfield is because of Mac Donahue. Just another one of those really good young talents that Patty Gasso is trying to get some time and experience for.
She's played the outfield. We've seen her play a little 3rd base. We've already seen the 3 starting outfielders rotate and play in different spots in tonight's doubleheader. Bottom of the order's been solid. They 5 through 9 have scored 4 of their runs. Donahue waits on it, drives it foul. Up against the wall. She does have a little pop in that bat. 6 home runs this year.
I bet there aren't many in this Oklahoma lineup that don't have home runs.
Point taken.
It is, yes. contagious.
One-two from Binford. Good protect.
Now getting to the Bears.
This is where Oklahoma's so tough too, because with 2 strikes, they just continue to foul off pitches, to watch balls, to elevate pitch counts. And you know, you talk to a lot of pitching coaches, they want to know, what are you doing on 1-2 counts? Are you playing with hitters, or can you retire them? Can you put them back in the dugout? And Oklahoma is just tough. They wear you down, and we saw it in game 1. They did that to Gia Randoni. They fouled off a lot of pitches. All of a sudden, toward the end of the game, her pitch count, when they really started to get on her, elevated.
2-2.
I think one of the greatest stats for pitchers to keep track of, and it's very hard to keep track of, you almost have to have someone specifically doing it, is how many pitches after a 1-2 count are you throwing?
Donahue pops it up. Catch is made in front of the base at second by Hott. 2 down. And this is Grace Green, who replaced Talon Snow at first base. .400 hitter on the year. Sooners just .300 with runners in scoring position now in the ball game. Green, the junior out of Oakdale, California, third-team All-American a couple of years ago. Longtime starter. And now an opportunity to try and get a run in. Binford really wants to take care of this because the top of the order awaits with Jennings. Green in foul territory, and that will drop. Avalos gave chase. Looks like there's some activity there in the Oklahoma bullpen beyond her. And popped her up. Couple stranded as we head to the bottom of the 5th. And it looks like we've got a new pitcher. That is Olivia Raines coming on for Oklahoma. So sales night is done and Raines will come on. They face the bottom three in the lineup here. Olivia's 13th appearance. She's worked just over 15 innings. The sophomore from Pryor, Oklahoma. One of the 7 pitchers on the roster for the Sooners.
Batting average again, so it's a little over a buck 15. Limits damage.
We saw G. Juarez go the distance, 7 innings in the first game. Sale through 4 here in the nightcap, and now Rain's coming on. There you see G taking notes in the background, charting the pitches. Josie Bauer fouls it off. Josie struck out in the 3rd. There's G. Working on the bucket. What's she doing in there, Smitty? Charting pitches, most likely?
Yeah, charting some pitches, probably.
Grounded to short. 1 down. Sunday Night Baseball coming your way, as it should, on Sunday night on ESPN and streaming live on your ESPN app. Also on Deportes. The action gets underway at 6 with baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown. And then first pitch at 7 Eastern. New York and Philly. Sydney Collasos. And instead, it's a pinch hitter here, Hannah Thompson. So both coaches going to the benches here tonight. Sooners won the opener 7-1 to improve to 37-1 on the season, 13-0 in the conference. On track for a 9th consecutive Big 12 championship, as they have now won 65 games in a row against Big 12 foes, regular season and the conference tournament.
Dominated the Big 12. Championship culture, just ability year in and year out to not just recruit, but coach the kids up.
Elam tried to frame it.
The other thing this Oklahoma team does very well is that upperclassmen teach the younger classmen.
Right at Grace Green, 2 down.
Share that experience, they talk, encourage each other, and I think that's one of the reasons why you see this team happy for each other. You see each of them sharing each other's success.
Well, these teams have been through an awful lot. Of course, the season last year cut short. Many have stayed, some moved on. And now dealing with the pandemic and the the testing and the schedules turned upside down. Here's Kendall Cross, the sophomore from Friendswood, batting in the 9 spot. Lions. To the 6th we go. 7-0 Sooners. A little history for you.
Yeah.
Always due up second, top of the lineup for Oklahoma. Just a glimpse, though, at how good she has been this season. And this youngster hasn't been too far behind Jennings, a whale of a season.
Exactly, Beth, and that's what I was going to say. I think that Jennings is obviously exceptional, but learning so much from Jocelyn Allo, and A lot of the hitting is contagious, the work ethic, lead by example.
Laura Espinosa, a member of those amazing Arizona teams in the mid-90s. Of course, Stacy Newman, the all-time great at UCLA. Sam Finley, that Michigan team in 2005 changed everything. That was the first three-game championship series, the first time a team east of the Mississippi won the title. And Jesse Warren and that Florida State group, the first ACC national champs. Binford lost the handle. And then, of course, Lauren Chamberlain with that 2013 Oklahoma squad. Binford having a chuckle. Lost the grip on it.
Yeah, a little whoops.
Rounds to short. So here comes Alo with one down.
Let's take a look at Jocelyn Alo and why she is as good as she is. Well, because she can hit any pitch. She can hit a good pitch, a good hitter's pitch. It's over the middle of the plate. Of course she can hit that. She drives it out of the yard. But what makes Jocelyn Alo one of the best in the business is she also has the ability to hit bad pitches. In other words, a good pitcher's pitch or a pitch out of the zone, and she can whack that as well. That pitch at the upper end of the strike zone, and she still can drive it out of the park. And we see that with every great power hitter, Lauren Chamberlain specifically as well. She could take a ball out of the park that was thrown at her ankles. It's hard to hide from her.
A couple of singles and a ground out here in game 2 after she hit the solo home run in game 1 tonight. 1-1 from Binford. Slices that out of play.
Such ability to read pitches, barrel balls up, to be on time.
Waits on the off speed and drives it out to left. Third single of the game for Alo.
This is why she has a 500-plus batting average. Look at the way she's going to wait on this off-speed pitch. It's elevated up in her eye. She sees it. Look at the delay. Did you see that? That little bit of the delay, getting the foot down, the hips, a little bit of a movement, keeps the hands back, and that's the reason why she can hit almost any pitch that you throw at her.
She'll be lifted for the pinch runner here. Kelso is on base. There's Grace Lyons with Kinsey over at first. Sends that the opposite way, and that's back off the top of the fence. Slides in safely at second. 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Grace Lyons getting all into a ball that kind of leaks back into the middle of the zone. High leg kick, barrels it up. She's jammed up a little bit, but that again is the power of this Oklahoma team. That ball just jumping off the bat, about a foot shy of going out of the park. Oppo.
Chance for Lindsay Elam to drive a couple in. Lindsay went with the outside pitch. RBI single in the first. 1 for 3 in the game. Chases that low 0-2. Slow roller, right back to the pitcher to throw to the plate, not in time, and a run scores.
This is a really tough play for Binford coming off the pitching rubber, going to pick this up, but feet pointed more in the direction of first base, tries to throw back to get the runner, but I think she's probably better off in that situation because of the way the ball's hit to the right side. Probably needs to go get that out. Tough play, though, trying to keep that 8th run off the board.
Second run driven in for Elam tonight. And a first and third situation here with the lefty slapper Riley Boone coming up. 0 for 1, she struck out in the 5th.
Now batting for Oklahoma, number 0, Riley Boone.
Swinging early. 100th pitch from Binford.
This is where just the dominance comes out. 28 of their 39 games via the run rule. That's why when I spoke with Coach before this series, she's like, I want us to play 7-inning games. We need to get more ABs, more pitches on our pitchers' arms.
And with one more run across here, they have invoked the run rule, so Baylor will need to score a run in the bottom of the inning to keep this one going, as the Sooners try and tack on even more. Boone. Binford checks the runner. They got her caught up in a rundown. Oh, missed the tag and a run scores. Grace Lyons danced around the tag.
Grace Lyons caught in the rundown. Take a look at the way she's going to try and get out of the way of Binford and then dive back across the plate. Umpire taking a look the whole way. Jumps out of the way of the tag from Binford and then diving onto the plate. And then diving back in. You can see the umpire immediately watching.
What a play by Lyons. Obviously, one of the Baylor fans wanted her called out for dancing out of the baseline. But it's 9-0. Runners on second and third for Janet Johns. He's walked a couple of times, lined out. Johns, a hot shot out to right. That's going to score at least one, make it two. Two-run single for Jana. 4 runs across in the inning.
John's being aggressive early in the count. Taking a pitch that, again, just kind of leaks back into the zone and just drives it the opposite way. This Oklahoma team lets the ball travel very well. That's part of the reason they can hit for such power to the opposite field.
The second for 1. The throw over to first, not in time. 2 down. If my scorebook is right here, that is 8 different players. 8 of the 9 in the lineup have now driven in a run for Oklahoma tonight. Mackenzie Donahue swinging at the first pitch. She walked, drove in a run in the 3rd, and then popped up in the 5th. So it's only the 9 spot in the order that is not that does not have an RBI yet.
Yep, that's what I have too. And it's just a complete attack. Just 1 extra base hit. It was Grace Lyons here in the 6th inning. Everything else has been a single, and they've capitalized on the extra bases, the free passes.
8 of the 9 have also scored a run. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, so it's those extra opportunities, the fielder's choice, when they go after a runner and don't get the out. It's all those extra ABs that continue to cycle through that help them put big runs up on the board.
It will be absolutely electric when they head to Stillwater for a 3-game set, May 7th, 8th, and 9th. In a top 10 showdown. As Donahue draws the walk, and that'll give a chance for the 9 spot in the order to pick up a ribby. And I think going to be Grace Green again. Yes, it will be. Her second at bat.
Yeah, I think that showdown between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma is going to be great for both clubs. Top 10 matchup.
Oh, 2 the count to Green. 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Got her. And the Sooners trying to sweep the doubleheader tonight against Baylor. The run rule is in effect here. Last chance for the Bears. Sooners got them 11-0. They won the opener 7-1 tonight. Already a good night for OU supporters because Oklahoma State has lost tonight to Wichita State. Upcoming opponents both for the Sooners. Nicole May is your new pitcher in the circle. Top of the order, Lou Gilbert. Couple of hits and a walk tonight in the doubleheader. home runs, and there's the scouting, or excuse me, 11 runs for Nicole May to work with, her scout.
She's going to be in the upper 60s. She'll throw a rise. She's got a curveball that she will work as well as a screwball.
Gilbert out to left. Donahue's got it, 1 down.
Now batting the second baseman,
Sooners won the first game, all the runs coming on 3 home run balls. And here in the second game, bunch of singles. And just put them all together, scoring runs in the first, second, third, and sixth without having to go deep. This is Nicole's first appearance since the Georgia game a week ago when she took the loss in relief. But Patty Gasso liked how she handled herself getting out of several bases loaded jams.
A good velo. She's got nice movement at the top of the zone. With composure. Like most youngsters coming in, they're learning how to pitch versus just getting in that circle and throwing.
And in the dirt, 2-2. Crowd.
Great job of setting her up with that rise ball. Working a little bit lower in the zone. Some of her rise balls non-competitive, but when she needs it, she brings it right back up at the eyes. Really nice rise ball.
Right back to Nicole May. 3 up and 3 down, and that's your ball game. Oklahoma Sooners 38-1. Their 66th straight win against Big 12 opposition as the streak continues.